This next piece is a work inspired by a story of love, a very strange story, actually. This is a poem. And in this poem, a man is looking out his window, and it's late at night, and evidently his home overlooks a lake, because what he's looking at is the reflection of the moon on the surface of the water. And Ravel captures this scene just perfectly with this little pattern at the beginning. You can almost see these little slivers of light, moonlight, dancing around on the surface of the water. And as he looks out the window, he's startled by splashes of water which hit the window pane in front of his face. And it doesn't make any sense because it isn't raining, but he hears a voice then, and the voice says, "It is I, it is Ondine." And Ondine is this little water sprite who's actually up to no good. Her goal in life is to lure men into the water to their deaths. And somehow in the poem, I get the feeling that the poet somehow has some kind of sympathy for her. Maybe she's been jilted or betrayed or something. At any rate, she's engaged in this activity. And so in this poem, she describes to the man this beautiful paradise where she lives down at the bottom of the lake. And of course, she wants him to want to go down there with her. And her words are so seductive and sensuous. And so is the music, this beautiful little plaintive melody, which are her words. And the whole piece is accompanied throughout by all of this filigree that goes up and down the keyboard. It's supposed to sound like waves and whooshes and sparkles and all kinds of watery sounds. Ravel was part of a style that was current at the time called Impressionism, where he and Debussy and others would, in a way, create impressions of non-musical things through music. And Ravel was such a master at writing for the piano. He could make it sound like water is just dripping off of this thing. And of course, as she speaks, the man is totally swept along with her, and the music builds and builds this tremendous climax. And as it dies down, that's where she says, "Put the ring on your finger and join with me down at the bottom of the lake." And then she waits for his answer. And one of the things I love about this piece is that not only does he capture the seductive quality of Ondine and this really beautiful, filmy, dreamy, watery world that the whole poem takes place in, but somehow, if you can listen for it, it's kind of in between the notes and under the notes. There's this undercurrent of evil and darkness. And he puts it all together in this package. It's just fantastic how he does it. At any rate, somehow it seems that this man figures out that she is someone to stay away from. And so when he answers, and you'll know that he's answering in the music because suddenly all that filigree just stops. And there's just a single melody played with one finger very slowly. You can tell he's choosing his words very carefully. He doesn't want to overly upset her, but he does have to get to that word, no. And there's this one wrong note in that little tune. It's a brilliant idea, this little punched out note that doesn't quite fit. And what he's telling her is, I can't go with you because I'm in love with somebody else. And she has a temper tantrum after that. But then, inexplicably, she just lets out this wild laugh, and you'll hear that in the piano. It goes, down to the bottom of the keyboard. And she just disappears. And that's the end of the poem.